There is a story you tell yourself, a quiet, simple story. You've told it for so long, you don't even hear it anymore. It's the story of someday, someday when I have more confidence, someday when I feel ready, someday when the world makes it easy for me. We hold onto this story like a shield. It protects us from the terrifying prospect of trying and failing, of being seen and judged. But what if I told you that this story, this someday, is the very thing holding you in place? That it's not a promise, but a prison. The lie isn't just that someday will come. The lie is that you need to feel ready before you can begin. You believe that courage is the absence of fear, that you must first feel like a different person before you can start acting like one. But that's backwards. Courage is not a feeling you wait for. It's a decision you make in the face of the fear you already have. You don't become confident and then step onto the stage. You step onto the stage with your knees shaking and your voice trembling, and in that act, you build your confidence. You don't wait for the fear of rejection to vanish before you share your art. You share your art, and you discover that your voice can survive a no. Readiness is not a prerequisite. It is a reward. It is the thing you earn by starting before you are ready. The person you are waiting to become. She doesn't exist in the future. She is waiting for you to create her, here, in the messy, imperfect present. So you have to stop waiting to feel ready. You have to stop waiting to feel brave. The door isn't going to open itself. You have to turn the knob even with a trembling hand. The lie is that you need permission. The truth is that the only permission slip you will ever need is the one you write for yourself. The lie is that you need to feel ready. The truth is that you just need to be willing. So let the story of someday go. It was never your friend. Your life is happening right now, not in the distant, perfect future. The starting line is right here, beneath your feet. We have been taught a dangerous and disempowering myth, that action must be preceded by a specific emotional state. We believe we must first feel confident, feel courageous, feel ready before we can take the first step toward a meaningful goal. This creates a psychological trap of infinite regression. If you wait to feel confident before you speak up, you will never speak, because confidence is built through the act of speaking. If you wait to feel like a writer before you write the first page, you will never write, because the identity of a writer is forged in the daily discipline of writing. This is the core of the someday lie. It outsources your agency to your emotional weather, which is as unpredictable and fleeting as the wind. Your feelings become the gatekeeper to your potential, and they are a tyrannical, inconsistent ruler. Basing your progress on your feelings is like trying to build a house on a foundation of sand. It shifts and collapses with every change in the internal climate. The profound shift in perspective is to understand that action is not the result of a feeling, it is the cause of it. You do not take the stage because you feel confident. You take the stage, and through that act, you generate the evidence and experience that your brain then interprets as confidence. The feeling of readiness does not descend upon you like a blessing before you begin a difficult project. It emerges slowly, often painfully, as you wrestle with the first clumsy attempts and learn from your mistakes. The person you are waiting to become, the confident, capable, ready individual, is not waiting in the future. That person is a phantom, a hypothetical construct. The only real material you have to work with is the person you are today, with all your fears and imperfections. The path to becoming is not through waiting for a transformation, but through the deliberate, repeated actions that are the transformation. You become brave by performing brave acts. You become ready by engaging with the task. The feeling follows the deed. By waiting for the feeling first, you are ensuring you will never do the deed, and therefore, you will never generate the feeling that proves you could. The door to your future is not locked by a lack of feeling. It is unlocked by action, and the key is in your hand, ready to turn, even if that hand is trembling. The belief that courage is the absence of fear is one of the most pervasive and paralyzing misconceptions we hold. We look at people we perceive as brave, the artist sharing their work, the leader giving a difficult speech, the entrepreneur launching a venture, and we assume they do not feel the same visceral dread that we do. We imagine their inner landscape is serene, their resolve unshaken by doubt. This is a fantasy. Courage is not a magical emotional state where fear has been vanquished. It is something far more accessible and far more powerful, a conscious, deliberate decision. It is the choice to prioritize a value, such as integrity, growth, or love, over the temporary comfort of safety. The courageous person is not fearless, they are valued, driven. They feel the knot in their stomach, the racing heart, the voice of self-preservation screaming to turn back. But they have made a pre-commitment to something more important than their immediate comfort. They have decided that the potential for a meaningful outcome is worth the risk of a negative one. This reframing is everything. It means you do not have to wait for your fear to disappear. You will be waiting forever. Instead, you simply need to clarify what you value enough to act for. Is it your creative truth, the well-being of a relationship, the fulfillment of a dream? When that value becomes clear and non-negotiable, courage is no longer a feeling to be found, but a choice to be made. It is the decision to speak the truth even when your voice shakes. It is the decision to hit publish, even while anticipating criticism. It is the decision to take the first step, not because the path is clear, but because your commitment to the destination is absolute. Courage, therefore, is not a personality trait you are born with or without. It is a moral and psychological muscle that is strengthened every time you choose to use it. The trembling hand that turns the doorknob is not a sign of a lack of courage. It is the very essence of courage in action. It is the physical proof that a decision has been made that is bigger than a feeling. We often envision our future self as a finished product, a fully realized and polished version of who we are today. We imagine that this future self will one day arrive, equipped with boundless confidence, unwavering clarity, and the effortless ability to conquer the goals that currently daunt us. This is a comforting daydream, but it is a psychological trap. It encourages a passive waiting game where we delay action because we do not yet feel like that future person. The radical and empowering truth is that this future self does not exist in a distant timeline waiting to be discovered. This person is a phantom, a hypothetical construct with no substance. The only tangible, real material you have to work with is the person you are in this present moment, flawed, fearful, and imperfect. The path to becoming the person you want to be is not through waiting for a magical transformation, but through the deliberate, repeated actions that are the transformation itself. You do not become a writer by waiting for a writer's identity to descend upon you. You become a writer by writing. You do not become a leader by waiting to feel like a leader. You become a leader by making decisions and taking responsibility. The identity is not the cause of the action, it is the effect. Every time you act in alignment with the person you aspire to be, you are not pretending. You are building, you are laying down another brick in the foundation of that new identity. The feeling of being. A confident person will only ever come after a long history of having done confident things. The future you is not a destination you arrive at. It is a creation you assemble piece by piece in the workshop of your daily life, using the tools of your present day choices. You are not waiting to become. You are becoming right now through what you do. We spend an inordinate amount of our lives seeking external validation, a permission slip signed by someone or something else that finally grants us the right to begin. We look to parents, teachers, bosses, partners, or the nebulous right time to give us the go-ahead to pursue our dreams, to change our lives, to use our voice. This search is rooted in a deep-seated fear of overstepping, of being seen as arrogant or unqualified. We believe we need a credential, a certain level of expertise, or an invitation from the established order to legitimize our ambitions. This is the great lie of permission. The liberating and perhaps terrifying truth is that the only permission slip you will ever need is the one you write for yourself. No external authority can grant you the internal authority required to start. A degree on the wall cannot give you the courage to speak your mind. A manager's approval cannot instill in you the resilience to withstand failure. The right time is a phantom that forever recedes into the future. The authority to begin is an act of self-declaration. It is an internal coronation where you crown yourself the sovereign of your own life. When you truly internalize this, you are instantly emancipated from the cycle of seeking approval. You move from being a supplicant, asking the world for a chance, to a sovereign, declaring your intent and taking command of your own destiny. This is the essence of the shift from someday to today. It is the conscious decision to stop waiting for a gatekeeper who does not exist and to instead recognize that you have always held the keys. Writing your own permission slip means giving yourself the unconditional right to be a beginner, to be imperfect, to try and fail, and to claim the space you need to grow. The moment you do this, you will find that the world, which seemed so resistant to your vague hopes, often rearranges itself to support your decisive actions. The permission was always yours to give. The courage to give it to yourself is the only true beginning. The most profound journeys begin not with a fanfare, but with a single, often trembling, step. We mythologize the starting line, imagining it as a brightly marked, official beginning, preceded by cheers and clear skies. We wait for the perfect conditions, the absolute certainty, the definitive sign that it is time to go. But the true starting line is almost always invisible. It is not a place you find, it is a decision you make. It is the moment you choose to turn the doorknob, despite the fear of what lies on the other side. This step, taken before you feel ready, is the most powerful one you will ever take because it is the step that creates momentum. It is the step that proves to your own psyche that you are more committed to your future than you are loyal to your fear. The starting line is not behind a velvet rope guarded by a gatekeeper who checks your credentials. It is right here beneath your feet in the messy reality of your present circumstances. It is in your living room where you can do the first workout. It is at your kitchen table where you can open a blank document and write the first sentence. It is in your car where you can make the difficult phone call. The starting line is wherever you decide that the cost of inaction has finally become greater than the discomfort of action. Waiting for the fear to subside is like waiting for the ocean to become calm before you learn to sail. You will be waiting forever. The skill of sailing is learned in the waves, not on the shore. The courage to begin is forged in the act of beginning, not in its contemplation. That first step, however small, however imperfect, is a declaration of independence from the tyranny of someday. It is the physical proof that you have chosen to become the author of your life, and no longer just a character waiting for the plot to advance. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, not because the step is easy, but because it is sacred. It is the step that makes the other 999 possible.